James Reed, chairman of Reed, the global recruiting company. I suppose this recovery, as it's being called, has been called a jobless recovery. How do you see it?
Good morning. Well, it's certainly a slow recovery, and in our latest figures on the Reed Index, we're seeing a softening of the labour market in the UK, and our website, Reed.co.uk, has the biggest jobs site in Europe. Suggests that there's fewer jobs now than there were earlier in the year.
And what other trends are you seeing during these difficult times? How things have changed in the past 2 to 5 years, I guess?
Well, it's much harder to get a job now than it was 3 years ago. The number of applicants per job has doubled, and each month they're rising. So we're seeing a trend of...
Does that help companies, though, because they have a bigger pool of people, or are the people that are getting employed the ones that have adapted to these new conditions?
Well, it's both, really. I mean, companies have a bigger choice of people, so there are some excellent candidates available, but also they have a flood of applicants on many occasions. Sometimes one job has 700 applicants. So it's a changing picture. If you're in the private sector, the prospects are brighter than if you're in the public sector. And
are companies actually having problems filling their vacancies with the right people, or because they've got this pool, it's so much easier for them?
No, it's still difficult for business to find the right people.
Why?
I know, it's amazing, isn't it, really, when you see how many people there are looking for work. I think that a lot of it's to do with the readiness of the workers, and a lot of it's to do with the right people being in the right place. And so there needs to be more mobility and flexibility in the labour market.
Is that the key?
It's one of them, yes.
What else?
Well, I mean, we've just written a book, Put Your Mindset to Work, and that's all about how people prepare and succeed in the labour market. And employers are saying loud and clear that they want mindset ahead of skill set, and I think that's been overlooked.
What do you mean by mindset?
It's a good question. There are a whole lot of qualities that people look for: honesty, integrity, commitment above all. And up until now, that hasn't been top of the agenda necessarily. And a lot of the effort in the economies around the world has been put into skills, whereas the companies that we speak to, 97% of them are saying mindset is what they look for first in an applicant.
Some people will be watching this and be thinking that's actually quite surprising, because if you have a function that needs to be filled, you want somebody who is the most efficient, the most intelligent, the best person that could do that job, but it goes much deeper psychologically, I guess.
Well, yes, it does, because skills are becoming obsolete more and more quickly. And so the people with the right mindset are the ones who can grow new skills and adapt, and that's what businesses are looking for first and foremost.
What sort of research did you do for that book?
We surveyed thousands of employers around the world, online and by telephone and face-to-face. And we also surveyed thousands of applicants and saw which applications were successful and which were not.
What's the biggest problem for recruiters today?
The biggest problem for recruiters is the change in the market, because the market is still slightly moribund. It's improving, but there's certainly a need for more jobs in the market from our point of view. But I'd say that there's a big opportunity, because the individual is being pressed by higher taxation, higher prices, and more people are looking to change jobs as a result.
James Reed, thank you very much indeed for coming in to us here at Bloomberg.